What's going on, Junkie Nation? Gorgeous George and Goes are back with another superstar from the sport of mixed martial arts. His name is Jeremy Stevens, also known as Little Heathen. He's going to be competing on Friday, November 25th, in New York City inside the Madison Square Garden at PFL 10 2022 Championships. Jeremy lives in America's finest city, and us, as former SoCalers, are jealous of the beautiful weather that he has. We're here in Vegas where it's about 45 degrees, so not too bad. It's not Buffalo or anything like that, but we decided to match his look. What's going on, brother?
Good, man. I didn't know it was 45 degrees.
Yeah, it's kind of cold here in Vegas, but I've always been jealous of the San Diego weather. We're from Orange County, so kind of close by, and every time we go back, we're like, oh, man, I miss this weather.
Oh, the nice area, huh? Orange County. Big dog area.
Yeah, well, have you seen the real estate is expensive in San Diego, man? That's a nice area too.
Yeah, man. I bought for, I wouldn't say cheap, but I bought for a good price, and the house has gone up tremendously. So I'm excited. People always ask me, would you ever move back to Iowa? And I'm like, nope, nope. I love San Diego. It's been my home for 13 years plus, and I just enjoy it, man. San Diego is just something special, like you guys said. Being out here from where I'm from, it's just a healthier lifestyle. The people here are a lot more friendly and just good vibes. You guys know San Diego, baby.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I think you made a good decision. It's only a 3-hour flight away if you ever want to go back and visit family and friends. But most of the year, you might as well enjoy that sunshine, right?
That's right, my man.
We're already in this deep. We might as well just let the audience know. Just so you know, we're not like bragging or anything, but look, LA is not that far away, right? You got a lot in San Diego. Orange County, you got all kinds of sports teams, guys. If you miss the snow that much, Big Bear is not even that far away. There's beaches like 20 minutes away from you. Like, you got to understand, we grew up in paradise.
Yeah. That's true, man. That is true. You can go snowboarding down a mountain in the same day, go surfing.
Universal Studios, Knott's Berry Farm, Disneyland, Legoland, SeaWorld.
And
just wherever you're at, move already.
This is true. I had heard that during the pandemic that the Fight Alliance kind of either shut down or moved or what. And so then when we knew we were going to be on, I went and dug in, and it seems like the alliance team is together still training. So you guys basically just relocated, right?
Yeah, there was a lot going on. We moved from 3rd and K. They wanted to build some Section 8 housing. A lot of people did not want that, and we got removed from our old spot, which was on 3rd and K in Chula Vista. We ended up going down to the Barrio Logan. We were down there for some time. Our coach had put in money for showers and fixing pipes. And man, we had a Rob Dyrdek factory down in the Barrio Logan, which used to be a bad place. And it's totally revamped and just fresh energy down there. Something happened. The city had shut that place down. We started moving around a lot. We were going out towards East Lake, like an older alliance, which was kind of away from here. That's like in the Santee area. And then we stuck together. We were in Chula Vista. COVID happened. The guy wanted to sell the place. And by then, my coach was like, damn, I'm running out of money to keep reinvesting in this. He was searching for some options. And a lot of people don't know, I actually fought Choi and Emmett when I was just hitting pads in my parking lot with like the my headlights on. Literally, it was like a Van Damme movie. I forget, maybe it was Lionheart, where they're like, all in like a circle of cars, and like he ends up beating some dude's ass, and like, and that's like literally how I was like hitting pads and like training for 5-round fights. It's not the place, man. It's literally not. You hear this all the time. It's the people around you, the energy, and just the work you're really putting in. You can come from a nice home, you can come from a broken home. It's literally about the people that you're putting yourself around, the energy, and trusting your coaches, and that's what we have. And a guy who I know really well, Jocko and Joe Menino, who owned Victory MMA. I used to go there a lot when I was younger, first coming out here. I was training with that team quite a bit, working on my jiu-jitsu. They opened the doors for us, Alliance team. And all of us guys, we have like a little small tight knit crew of Alliance members, which is kind of like our own little base. But I love that because, I started out when there was the Alex Gustafsons, Ross Pearsons, and so many big names. And there was only like a few coaches that you could just get working. And there was a time where I was just the young Jeremy Stevens that was just kind of like down the list, so I always had to like work my way up in order to be seen, get on that pad list and be in the gym. But I was always in the gym, always looking around. And now it's just, like my coaches are just dedicated to just a certain few, and we have really good coaching at such a high level. And our coach, he's not like one of those coaches that's like, oh, don't go over there, don't go over there. Our coach is so open and so awesome and amazing and trusting and loving that he enjoys, like when we're outside of camp and we're going to Andre Galval's, we're going to the Justin Flores trainings, that we're going over here to the game breads and training with different teams, because he knows this game takes a lot to evolve. But when it comes down to fighting, trust, honor, passion, intelligence, and someone who knows the game, Eric Del Fiero and the Alliance team is where it's at. And, thank God for Joe Menino, Jocko, Dean Lister, and them guys over at Victory MMA. They opened the doors for us. And over there we have sauna, cold plunge, showers, and a stable home of business. And we're looking to, and we're continuing. And what we're doing now is to grow the youth MMA and open the doors for anybody who wants to come train and be the best fighter in the world. If you're looking for the jiu-jitsu or wrestling, there's plenty of places that have that direct staple of jiu-jitsu. You want to go to the best jiu-jitsu, Andre Galval and them guys. You want to go be the best wrestler, there's other places. But if you want to be the best fighter and compete, make money, survive, have that type of trust and coaching around, come try out Alliance MMA. Doors are always open.
Very cool, man. I'm glad to hear this. Gyms supporting each other when they can, and veterans being able to help each other out. All those names I'm very familiar with. So that's very, very cool for you to give us that recap.
Yeah, you guys know. I mean, COVID. I'm sure everybody can kind of relate to that. COVID did a lot of people dirty, but guess what, man? If you're a man, and you've been around in this world, and you have years in the game, and you're probably past 25, 26 years old, you have experience in life. And when life punches you in the mouth, you guys are close enough to the game. You got to get the fuck up and muster up some strength and attitude. We all got families, we got lives and things outside of fighting. And really what it is, like I said, it goes back to just having that good core group of people who just love and trust each other and can be there for each other to have a little bit of light in those dark times. And now that the dark times are over, I feel like we're really thriving.
Yeah. Jeremy, let me ask you this. I'm going to state some reasons for why people fight, and I wanted to see which one's closest to you for this one coming up. Obviously, you want to probably stake your place for next year's regular season and playoffs, the paycheck, being a part of the first historical pay-per-view, or even this one, fighting a former world champion who, you've beaten your fair share of former world champions. So which is it? What is it that attracted you the most about this matchup coming up against Natan Schultz?
None of it, man. I just feel like my soul's thirsty for a knockout. The Heathen is just raging, bro. With these performances and the losses, man, I really dealt with a lot. And the last fight was just getting the win. But, my coach even said, I never seen somebody so upset about a win. But that's just the type of man I am. I want to go in there. I want to collect souls. I want to put people's lights out and leave a legacy, and it's not even about fighting. Look at my buddy Anthony Johnson. I'm just inspired by so many people's lives that he touched. And, not even people are talking about his fighting. I mean, literally the guy knocked people out so they don't fucking move, right? If there's really somebody out there like that, it's probably him, that I would say that I always looked up to. But it's not even about that. It's about the life that you're leading, the trials and ups and downs that we were just talking about, the people that you're surrounding yourself with, and growing and evolving. Life's or this fight game is going to pass me by. And I know that. So I don't really focus on this and that. I fought people with world titles. I fought for big money. I just want to leave an impact on this world. I love fighting. It's just truly something that's just born and bred with. I love it. I'll continue to love to challenge myself and the life that it brings and the money and being able to invest in myself, invest in my kids, invest in the future so that I don't ever have to work a day in my life. once it's all said and done. But really, I just want to knock a motherfucker out. This is all this is really about. It's just my soul is starving. The Heathen hasn't had a knockout in a long time. I haven't had a performance like I really wanted, and that's why I'm sitting here ripped as fuck, shredded, ready to rock and roll. I'm less than a week out. I'm ready to go right now, and I'm real thirsty, bro. I feel like no disrespect, I feel like a goddamn serial killer who just needs to kill. And that may sound a little bit weird, but there's just something about that adrenaline, that feeling, that power, that just it's a blood quenching thirst that I need. Is just to highlight reel somebody, man. I love it. I don't sleep for days after I fight, when I knock somebody out in an exciting style, it just makes me want more and more and more. And I love doing that. I love performing. I love walking around my house, just celebrating, or like feeling like I already won, like celebrating like I just ran into the cage like I did not Rafael Dos Anjos and tons of other people. I love to create that vibration, those feels inside my soul, because it makes me feel good. And that's like the law of attraction, right? If I can already be it, feel it, and I'm doing these things, like I know it's going to come. And I just had so much like alignment in this fight, like after my last fight, and I'm seeing it, I'm feeling it, and I'm ready to go. The Heathen's ready to knock somebody out come Friday night, and I have the perfect opponent for that type of style of a matchup. And I do it because I love it. That's bottom line.
There you go. I love the answer. I'm getting pumped already, man.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving on Thursday, and then people are going to get the stuffing knocked out of them on Friday. You may have just sold some pay-per-views there with that one. I love it. And thank you for bringing up Anthony Johnson. That was another thing I was going to bring up to you, but towards the end. But since you brought him up, I was looking at the Instagram. Again, I see the Alliance Fight team, the picture that you recently posted, and then I saw your tribute to AJ Rumble. Man, that was beautiful. It was a great story to see about how two guys connected and supported each other. He was at your wedding, and then you explained about the late fight that you took, the late notice fight that you took, and he was there to help and encourage and all that. That was awesome, man. I hope his family and friends can see all the beautiful tributes that have been written by many MMA athletes or notables or whatever. So thank you for doing that. But if you want to talk any more about Rumble, man, go ahead. I think that's something that's really, really been great for all of us, lifting all of us, is hearing great stories.
Yeah, it's funny is that, like, you're not really seeing like a whole lot of his highlights like out there. I mean, yeah, they'll show a little bit, but what I'm really seeing and like what I'm hearing from people is the type of man that he was. He was a God-sent angel. It feels like, he was checking in on us, me and my wife, and when he's the one who's hurt. You heard of Chad, was it Boswick? He just kept it kind of quiet, kind of played it off, never really told anybody, probably those close really around him. But just the life he lived, man. I mean, he was such a scary dude, but if you ever met this guy on the outside, and I mean, my family got a chance to meet him and was just like, wow, he's such a nice guy for how fucking scary he is inside the cage. But he was just a tremendous dude, and he really made an impact on the world. I mean, he's checking in on people when he's sick. He's lifting people up, and it's not just my story. It's the truth, and a lot of everybody else's story. And DC he was talking about, and that is inspiring to me. Because I'm, people get to see my heart inside the octagon, but I'm a lot more of a genuine, hey, how you doing, checking in with people, and I've gotten better at that over the years. Talking, opening up, being able to share things, and just connect with people. And I feel like Anthony Johnson, gone too soon, but man, the way he lived, the way he impacted people's lives, none of the fucking knockouts matter. None of that bullshit matters. It was the person he really was, for his family, for his loved ones, and for the friends and many other MMA athletes that he inspired around the world. Those are big shoes to fill, and I plan to walk down that same path, and maybe that's why we connected. We were both scary dudes with big hearts and lots of love, man. And I love Anthony Johnson. I'm always going to remember him, and I know he's going to have a hand in the score Friday night.
Man, now I'm glad we're wearing the glasses. I'm starting to get choked up because you're bringing up a lot of memories. He was a really good guy, and we have a soft spot in our hearts for some of you fighters that your careers kind of go along the same lines of our careers. And so you had brought something up earlier in the interview that I wanted to talk to you about. and you were talking about just growing up throughout your career and all that. And so when we first started interviewing you, you were like the new guy on the scene, right? This Jeremy Stevens guy. Have you seen him? And before we know it, those guys kind of just transform into veterans of the sport, right? And that's with you feels like it happened overnight. Do you remember a particular moment or a fight or something where you felt like I'm no longer this young guy on the scene, I'm now an established veteran? And what did that feel like?
There's many times where, I'd be at like a local MMA show, out of town or wherever. And there was a guy who fought maybe in the UFC 1, 2 times, maybe 3 times. And they're like, UFC veteran. And I was like, no disrespect to anybody, but I was like, that's not a veteran to me. I didn't consider myself a veteran until I probably got damn near close to 20 fights deep. Because I was so young. I should have never beat Rafael Dos Anjos. I should have never beat some of these guys. I literally beat them on heart. Like my skill level was like far behind. And as you can see throughout my life, Jeremy Stevens has evolved. I've constantly realized this game's changing, and I have to change if I'm going to be able to have longevity and keep a career in the sport. And I constantly had to mix things up. So I didn't really consider myself a veteran until I got way, way deep in the game. And, probably after about 20 something fights, when I would go to places, Alistair Overeem, Fedor, and, like some legends are shaking my hand and excited. I go to a UFC event with my wife, Israel Adesanya is like the Heathen comes up, shakes my hand, and even like fellow guys that I used to fight against, always like coming up, showing mad respect. That's when I was like, you know what, man, maybe I'm making an impact. That's cool that these guys that I look up to and the guys that even fighting in my weight class that I'm like, damn, that guy's good. Love watching that. They were fans and became, so some people became friends of mine as well. So that was definitely a cool experience. But, I still feel, as much as it sounds weird, I still feel so young in the game because I'm always trying to evolve and change. And this is my 3rd fight inside the PFL, 3rd time's a charm. I wasn't happy with the last fight, and I'm really looking to show my evolution and my progression inside that circle. So, great question.
Thank you. Well, another thing that was kind of touched on, that it was literally the first thing I wanted to ask you about. Your intensity before a fight, during a fight, even afterwards when we see you scream and all that. I was always curious. Have you ever found anything outside of MMA that can match that feeling of adrenaline that goes through your body? I know a lot of people skydive, they hunt, they shoot guns. Is there anything out there that can match that?
I've been trying for years, my man, doing all types of things. I've never. The only thing I can really think of that kind of comes close was when I started like hunting with my dad and shooting deer. Like my heart would kind of get like that, and being able to kill and be able to cut it up and harvest it and do that. But the hunt was always kind of like, that was exciting. But in fighting, whether I knock somebody out or I just have a good fight or not even, like I don't sleep. It's weird. I don't know if anybody else is like this. I won't sleep for probably like at least 24 hours plus. Like there's not going to be 24 hours that goes by. I'm going to be up watching the film, because that adrenaline, and I love it. It's such an addictive thing. Adrenaline. I don't even know how to explain the feeling. It's just, I've been addicted ever since I was 16 years old when I was inside a bar inside of Iowa, and I got a chance to perform. When I was young, before I was married, I was 16. I fought, my sister was there. She was hanging out with some strippers that she had made friends with. You were getting the attention. My style was exciting. So everybody wanted to be my friend. Everybody wanted to talk to me. Everybody was talking about me. And I just kept wanting to chase that. I went from being a kid who was, very lonely, very quiet, very just kind of, in his own little world, to like being able to experience that adrenaline, experiencing people wanting to be my friend, to being liked. I was like, I was a kid who was once made fun of, picked on, bullied, to someone who was being liked. So it was kind of all new to me, which, it brought up those feelings of like, damn, I want more of this. Like, I want to do this. Well, it's like throwing a dog a bone and he goes back and get it, and he's getting a reward for for doing these types of things. That's what it was. I love that. I love the fact that, people were like going around and telling my dad that I'm fighting at a bar. They're like, man, your son, he's really good. He's got an opportunity. My dad didn't like it at the time, but it was just that type of, I don't know, that type of energy, that type of feeling, that type of energy is like, it's almost like a type of power that you have. And even to this day, I love every bit of it. It's amazing, and I'm chasing it. And eventually I know one day that's going to go away. And just like we were just talking about with Anthony, I'm already going to fight on Friday night. Like I've already died, and I'm already living like I'm already dead. So it's just every day that I get, every chance that I get, it's a blessing. And, everything that I'm doing is going to be towards that next adrenaline rush. And that's going to come this Friday.
I think we brought up Van Damme earlier, and it got me thinking, do you have a movie character or television show character that you feel like you're the closest to, where you could say, I'm kind of like that guy?
I don't know, man. I'm probably more of like a serial killer than anything.
Like Dexter?
Yeah, Dexter. Yeah, that sounds good. Like I got that thirst, like those urges, a Dahmer, a Bundy. Like I'm not like highlighting any of these guys. Like what these guys did was sick, but when I crack.
Where'd the bat come from? You had it the whole time?
Yeah. I like to swing things, But something like that. I have a thirst that I have to satisfy. It's like it's not ever going to be satisfied until I go out there, and you have to earn it. You really got to put in the work to get that ultimate feeling, that ultimate adrenaline rush, and Van Damme was somebody I really looked up to as a kid growing up. I love the fact that he was like kind of mental. He was good looking. He was sharp, and he could fucking fight his ass off, and he always had heart. The Ninja Turtles, I was always big into them, their ninja moves, and they're always like fighting for something good. I always felt like fighting for something good, something that you believed in with a bit of respect and class on it was amazing. And what's funny is I always tell people, there's like GSP out there. He's like, oh, I'm a martial artist who learned fighting. That's awesome. I feel like I'm complete opposite. I've always been a natural born fighter who learned martial arts. So therefore, like Dexter, I was able to kind of channel that energy to something good, to channel it to like, okay, I'm a beast. Like I could go off in the streets and be robbing, stealing, selling drugs and be this kind of like hitman type dude, mafia boss or whatever. But I was like, no, I'm going to use this martial arts and channel this fighter. It was kind of like Customato to Mike Tyson. He had something raw, something he knew that he had. If he just put a spark in there, it would turn into that flame, right? I knew with just being a natural fighter, natural born beast, a natural killer, and if I learned martial arts and I could channel this gift, then I'm going to have a life that I'm living now. I'm going to have a stable home. I'm going to have a career. I'm going to be able to have money. I'm going to be able to squash all the doubt inside my mind because I have structure. I have foundation. I have a way of life. And the thing about martial arts is it's never just like it's a set thing. It's just a huge foundation, and you can build on top of that foundation in any ways, levels, go dimensions and vibrations, anything that you want. And you're seeing this amongst MMA. There's such a huge foundation, but then you get different fighter styles. You got a Justin Gaethje, a Jeremy Stevens. You got the Israel Adesanyas. You got the crazy Zabits, the spinning stuff. And that's where I feel like one thing that I was able to do something and give myself a gift in life was be a natural born fighter with heart who learned martial arts and learn how to take that martial arts and channel it into something outside of just fighting and being a savage. And it's really opened up a tremendous doors and it opened up a realm for me, and it's provided a lifestyle for me, and it's provided a good life for me and my family, and it continues to grow. And that's outside of fighting.
I love it. I love the GSP martial artist, fighter to martial artist. I love that. That was great. And even Customato to Tyson, I remember that as well. Those are very, very good analogies. You held the bat. I just want to ask you this last thing on the way out. Did you get caught up in the Padres craze when they did the playoffs and the World Series? Yeah, you did. Did you get to enjoy that?
Yeah. Oh, shout out to my boy Joe Musgrove, man. He provided some tickets for me this year. Me and my family going to the games. He's a big supporter. And there's another guy you can look up too. He's handing out turkeys out here for Thanksgiving. He's still continuing to do big things. And the Padres, you know, they didn't have the tremendous like pitching staff. They don't have a tremendous bank account. They didn't have all that. They just had the energy, the connection, and just the spark. And that's really what I saw is like, man, they're not really the best team, but when their spark is lit, they're unstoppable. And they did that throughout the year and had such a tremendous year. And you had leaders on the team like Machado really stepping up, who's really kind of grown up over the years, and just so many other things that you saw and you can take from that and just realize like, damn, they weren't really the best. They really weren't supposed to make it quite a bit, you know, and then they were able to kind of pull together, trust, coaching, you know, all the stuff we're talking about. Huge inspiration.
No doubt. I'm glad you got to enjoy that because that was pretty cool. That was a loud stadium. That was some passionate fans. Even when it was raining, they didn't care. They were soaking it up.
It was lit.
As always, Little Heathen, thank you very much for the time. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, whatever you can have, or maybe it's postponed till after the fight. Safe travels to New York. Go out there and beat some ass. Do it like you've always done, like you and AJ have always done. You guys are terrifying mofos once you get in the cage. That's for sure. We got to give you those props.
Yeah, thank you guys, and thank you guys for the interview and allow my my reach to extend a little bit further. You guys been a part of this journey, and like you said earlier, you know, everybody, whether you're a fighter or not, you're fighting for something, fighting cancer, fighting for a job, fighting to better yourself, fighting in school, whatever it is. You know, everybody's a fighter, so never give up, keep pressing forward, and always remember keep an open mindset and always stay evolving.
Good stuff. There he is, Jeremy Stephens, PFL 10, the 2022 championships on November 25th, Friday after Thanksgiving. Get that pay-per-view. Folks, we're out of here. Thank you.